What's up, guys? Just wanted to update you on my latest project here, the warp drive system. The full-size system will attach at the long part of the solar camper that I've built. So there's going to be a 10-foot long version of this warp drive that runs down the side up there, and there's going to be one on each side, just like this. And this Tesla coil is going to be modulated, meaning it's going to produce audible sparks out of the end. I'll also have antennas like this one, which will be powering bulbs, plasma bulbs, fluorescent bulbs, neon bulbs of all kinds, which will be arranged around the housing and around the solar panels of the solar camper. And I'm going to be incorporating a pulsed infrared laser targeting system, which is what you see sitting there on the top. That's a pulsed laser diode, and that sort of represents my targeting system. So I'll be able to guide these discharges wherever I want to, and it'll be really cool. And I will have a handheld version, which consists of a hilt with a laser, which is fed to an emitter ring at the high voltage, feeds into the plasma channel induced by the laser, the nano-pulsed high-frequency laser, for a handheld lightsaber-like device. And it'll be powered by the big warp drive engine, so these two little models won't be sitting on the final hilt. These just represent what I'm going to do to the truck by installing 10-foot long Tesla coils, which are solid-state dual resonant IGBT-driven Tesla coils, which are also modulated or interrupted. And so that allows me to utilize this thing in a very special way when it comes to going to warp, by actually warping. I'll have like 10 levels of overdrive built into this thing, so that I can, for a short period of time, I can overclock this thing into overdrive 10 times higher than the max input, than the normal maximum operating range. I can give it bursts, and I've got a whole pattern figured out of what it would take to induce warp. Because what you don't see is, not only do we have discharges coming out this end, but at the back of the coil, which I don't have anything represented there, but there's going to be a plasma flame generator circuit hooked up, which will emit RF plasma out of the back, and it'll also be audio modulated, and there will also be a laser targeting system rigged up to manipulate the path of the discharges. And the back and the front will work together simultaneously. The back will produce a high pressure zone of electromagnetism, and and RF, and the front will produce a longer, a much larger area of negative pressure. So we'll be warping in the positive direction on the rear end, and we'll be warping in the negative direction on the front end, like a suction on the front end, and it'll warp space around you when you phase shift from one engine to the other in a pulse. You build up to warp 10, and then you pulse a series of 9 pulses, and on that 9th final impulse, you send a pulse that is a phase shifted pulse as your final pulse, a special phase shifted pulse. It's a series of pulses, of phase shifted pulses, a series of 9 phase shifted pulses. And on the final pulse is when you go to warp. And that's the theory behind it. Anyways, peace.